in here, get in here. It's time to get into some things. Is everybody oiled up? Because it's time for more oil. Now listen, okay, I'm a little bit oiled up today because I got some friends with me, and we are going to be talking about this trial, okay? I know you guys were upset with me because I didn't go to the courtroom Friday, but I was busy on iHeartRadio with Angela Yee on Way Up. So shout out to Angela Yee. If you guys haven't watched that, make sure you guys check out Angela Yee Way Up. So really quick, there is no visual to it. It's just the audio. So I want you guys to make sure that you guys check that out and support that, okay? Also, I have some great people from the courtroom with me today. You know, on the weekends, we kind of do like a live where we bring different people up. So some of these people I really, really love. They're covering the case. So they're going to give their expertise and their insights. And I want you guys to support them all, follow their channels, and get into some things with them, okay? But first, oh my God, I totally have been slipping on my game because we are missing the Duchess. Oh my gosh. And we can't be mentioning the Duchess, but I was trying to get everybody set up. So I missed the Duchess, but we're about to get the Duchess right now. Just give me a second. Give me a second. We're going to get the Duchess. Okay? Because y'all know we can never start the show without the Duchess. Okay? So 1 second. And then we're going to do it. Because, baby, what? You know what time it is. Okay?
Really, really good. And I got a song for you. Want to hear it?
Ready?
Here it go.
Wire, all my Wiggins, bring the tea. I said, all my Wiggins, bring the tea.
I said, all my niggas.
Bring the tea. We go down to the courthouse. Bring the tea. He give us ID news. Bring the tea. He is never biased. Bring the tea. I said that all my Wiggins. Bring the tea. I said all my Wiggins. Bring the tea. All my Wiggins. Bring the tea.
All my niggas, we bringing the tea.
I want to
Thank
thank Armon. Bringing the tea.
I want to thank Armon.
Bringing the tea. Oh, he's sassy and classy. Bringing the tea. I said, all my niggas.
Yeah.
Be.
And listen, you know, the tea. Thank you, Duchess. Thank you, Duchess. Thank you. Everybody say thank you, Duchess. All right, guys, we have to oil up. And let me tell you, I have something to tell you. Come close. Come really close. Okay, so tomorrow, I need you to have your oil warmed up because we're coming back live tomorrow night. Okay? But we're going inside the freak off. Yes, we're going inside the freak off. So we have one of the escorts coming on the show tomorrow. And what I heard was this oil won't work. You can only come to the freak off with Johnson & Johnson's baby oil. More about that tomorrow. But yes, you're not going to want to miss that live because, baby, he is coming in here and he's going to be spilling the tea. So make sure you guys are here tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you guys got to work, just catch the live the next day. All right, so I told you I was going to have a little surprise for you. So there it is, all right? Just because I missed Friday didn't mean I wasn't going to come with some tea for you over the weekend. All right, so while I got my people waiting backstage, I want to bring out my first guest to the show. I'm super excited for her. She's been doing her thing. Honestly, I had to hunt her down today because she was supposed to text me and she didn't. But you know what? I love her so much. She's really great doing her stuff. She stays out of the mess, writes really clear and really good notes. She's really been a powerhouse at the courthouse. Really, really love her. So I'm going to shout out to Queen Shiba in the building, and she's here on YouTube. You're on mute, babe. You're on mute. Let me unmute you.
Woo!
How
Hello,
are
New
you?
York. I am good, Armon. Let me tell you something, baby. I cut my dinner short for you, and everybody knows the queen likes to eat, so I'm good.
Okay.
I'm ready to go, baby. I'm locked and loaded.
Let me tell you something. First of all, I just admire you. I think that you come with so much poise. You're so detailed. I really took a liking to you. And you can probably tell, so I heard people at the courthouse, there was a rumor that I'm a mean girl. I don't feel like I'm a mean girl, but I mean, you can let me know. I feel like I've taken a liking to you,
Girl,
so
you
maybe
a
you don't think
mean
I'm mean.
girl, but it
Am
takes you a
I?
little bit. Yes, hold on, but it takes you a little bit of thought out. You
Okay.
know how your mama would say, "Take out the meat before I get home."
Yes.
Boom.
You know
That's
why? Because
it.
I just feel like, but I feel like I wasn't like that with you. I feel like I just needed to see what it was given. I was like, okay, I like her. She's cool. She's, I just feel like you fit into my vibe. So I wanted to have you here. So you were in the courtroom Friday when all the mayhem went down. I was not there. So from being inside and just everything that went down, what happened with the finale of Jane Doe and the new guy? Like, lace us up. What did we miss?
Okay, Friday was an absolute. I like the technical part of the testimony. So there was two technical aspects of the testimony. We have the special agent that testified on the behalf of Homeland Security, which Mark
Mm-hmm.
Agnafilio was not a fan of him before he came into the courtroom. He specified to the judge, listen, FBI agents, special agents are liars and crooks. And if he cannot give us direct answers, and if he cannot ask the questions about where the weapons were, what the hell are we here for? That's the first thing. The second thing was primarily focused on juror number 6. And the defense spent a great portion of their time arguing that it was racially motivated and racially it was just they were just saying, first of all, you're questioning the man's literacy. So we can confirm that he can read and write. And Mark's argument
Wait,
was,
hold on,
listen,
hold on. Questioning, let's slow down with that. Questioning the man's literacy. So what I was hearing with juror number 6 is they were looking at the fact that he lived in Jersey versus living in New York, and then he was suing his old like apartment something. Is that not included? What's going on? I can't hear
so
you.
that was okay.
Okay.
That what can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, that was included, but what people are not realizing is that was the third aspect of the argument, which is why the defense took such offense to the prosecution slash government. They say, first of all, you question his literacy behind the scene. You were saying that he didn't appear to be competent. He wasn't answering the questions up front. Now we verify that he can read and write, and you keep going on and on and on. And how they were able to defend him was a technicality, right? He was not, according to the government, upfront and honest about his place of residence. Okay. They feel like he lied just to be a juror in the Diddy trial. So at the end, they were able to get him one way or the other. Xavier Donaldson argued, you, on one hand, you present, give me 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
On one hand, you present that you're being diverse as it relates to jurors. But on the other hand, you're picking them off one by one to ensure that Mr. Combs does not have a vote as it relates to what's in the box. So
Yes.
they did get him on the technicality, but they actually had 3 things that were an issue with him that they brought up in the courtroom. And that's why I take good note, honey.
Okay, so let me ask you this before we get into our next person. So I was hearing that Brian Steele said on the stand that it wasn't until somebody said the juror is stopped taking notes or was making faces. Now all of a sudden the prosecution has zeroed in on that juror, and that told me that the Brian Steele was apparently insinuating that there was maybe content creators or blogs or media publication zeroing in on this specific juror. So now the prosecution is somehow in bed with certain media outlets, and now they have ganged up together to try to get that juror out of the seat. Is that happening too?
I feel like it is happening. And I feel like one thing that the government did not say and the defense did not say is this was a for sure vote for Diddy. This was a 1. You know, when you play spades and they ask you to count your books, this was a 1. The possibles we got to figure out, but this is for sure. Diddy had a book with that juror. And I think that's why the government worked so hard to get rid of him. And I also believe that's why the defense worked so hard to defend him.
Okay. Thank you, Queen Shiba. Stand by. We're bringing you back. All right. Next guy on the stand. You know, he's been caught up in a lot of controversy. He's a hoot comedian, broadcaster, reporter, TikTok star, everybody's favorite weed smoking uncle, Secret Service Sam in the building.
What? Let's go, Armon.
How
Oh,
are
my
you,
Lord.
Secret Service Sam? I know you've been
I'm
covering this
good,
case
man.
top to bottom. How are you feeling about everything?
Man, from the windows to the wall, man, you know what I'm saying. I am up here in my secret lair right now, away from the Diddy trial. I'm feeling, I don't know about you, but like people don't understand the amount of stress just being at that court building. There is like energy that is trying to energy vampires that are trying to rob you of your soul.
Yeah.
There is like crazy homeless like
Yeah,
vagrants.
you've recently found yourself in a lot of controversy, you know, with reporting and stuff. Like, what's going on with that, Sam?
Well, let's talk about it, Armon. So
without bringing too many people into it, but you know what I'm saying.
Right. My first little controversy was with an unnamed YouTuber and Gene Deal. Okay. And we were at the court building and everybody is, hey, God, did you hear? Gene Deal punched out this YouTuber, knocked him out. I, you know, being a comedian, being new to this kind of game of journalism and whatnot, I got excited. And so I was like, oh my God, did you hear? You know, like you would with your friends, like, yo, did you hear Sheila came and she was like blacked out loud and this and that. And you'll kind of repeat the story. So I did that. I said, Gene Deal knocked out this guy. It turned out that he didn't knock him out. He pushed him back and there was an altercation. And so I quickly made a video saying, hey guys, I was wrong. My apologies. So that was kind of, I'd say, controversy number one. Okay. And then controversy, you know, and I don't even know if this is number two, but I had reported on, and here's the thing, Remy from Hip Hop Canada said to me,
which we love Remy here.
Yeah, we love Remy. Remy is dope. So we're sitting out there with Emily Knows Everything. And Remy says to us, and she can vouch for this, Kanye West was in the court building. He got kicked out. And I said, come on, how do you know that? I got to be careful about this because I'm really trying to be authentic, honest, and like you said, not get caught up in anything. And he says, no. He says, I'm positive. It's a reliable source on the inside. You just got to wait. My editor is formatting the article right now. And as soon as he does that, Sam, you can post about this. And so he goes, it's good. And he posted it. The article is up. And I still have not been able to confirm or deny. So I won't say like I was wrong because I talked to a friend on the inside, a woman we know is very close with the, you know, the camp. And she said, no, she said, you were not wrong about that he was in the area. And I think he was kind of discouraged away. I think that robe meeting they all called, I think that was around Kanye. She told me to read the transcripts because I think when they went into the robe room in the transcripts, there could be some mention of, hey, Kanye wants to come in. We're worried about what this is going to cause for the jury. How do we make this happen? So I would say that was just a little explanation of what happened.
And, you know, and we've talked behind the scenes, and I'm just going to share a little bit here. But I was telling you, because you know I like you. You came to my birthday and everything. And I think like you handled it well because it was just like, you know, I was explaining to you your importance on this platform. And, you know, I think it's important, you know, because you are white. You know what I mean? I'm just going to be honest. You're white. And a lot of times our people, our culture, they will platform you before they platform one of us. So I think in the situations with certain people where you got into the first controversy, it's because you know, people, because they see white as right. And so you have to be more serious about your reporting and more accurate because you can say something and a narrative will stick on a person just because you're white and have the collar shirt. You know what I mean?
Yes. So I mean, look at me, Armon. I mean, I recognize that my white privilege, the way I look, people think I'm a lawyer when I go up into the building. When I was at your birthday party, somebody came up to me and said, are you the owner of the bar?
Yes.
I'm like, no, I'm a comedian. So just to show you what a lie this can be sometimes, you know, guys, so it's just like, you know, and I get that and we had that talk, you know, I look like the guy, the white guy, and people don't really know about me as a comedian that I've spent my entire career in the Black community. So like, you know, I'm fully aware of how I come off. And I'm fully aware that also to you, getting to know new audiences, I have to show them who I am. You know what I mean? Because I realize I look like, they think I voted for Donald Trump. I look like little Trump. You know,
really
I look like, you know, go ahead. Sorry,
Kanye West, and we're going to get to it, and we're going to get to our next person, and we're all going to come back. But so Kanye West, I know you feel a way about Kanye West being a part of it. Why do you feel some type of way? Were you happy he came, or were you upset that he came?
I mean, look, that's what she said. I was upset that I missed Kanye just for the fact that we're all reporting on this thing. And so to get that video exclusive, I had the FOMO. But then also, like I said, I'm Jewish. I always say my wife's Catholic. I'm Jewish. We're cashews. But Kanye has said a lot of terrible things. You know, he made the blinged out, you know, I don't want to say the words. I don't know if we can say it. But everybody knows, you know, it's like Elon doing the salutes and stuff. I just, you know, it's like my son loves Kanye West. I love Kanye's music, but at some point I have to say, look, Sam, you got to hit skip, because the things he's saying about Jewish people, it's just unacceptable. And at what point, you know, does the music, do we say, yo, this music is so great, but this message is so, if he was saying, you know, I can't stand Black people and you know, or Asian people and Mexicans and this and that, I would still feel the same way. And I think we just give Kanye way too much of a pass. He walks up in court like he's innocent and a good person to stand there, you know, like, and he is the only one supporting Diddy, but I can't get behind what he's behaved in the last few months.
Sam, we're gonna bring you down. I'm gonna bring one more person up, and when we bring you right back up, you gotta say my name right, Sam. They're tearing you up in the comments.
What am I doing? Armon.
Armon, not Armin or Armin. Yes. What is that when white people can't say Armon? Why is that? Okay, Sam.
Well, people pronounce my last name Croupan.
Okay, we'll bring you right back, Sam. Stay back. All right. So you guys have seen her on the show before. You guys really liked her, and you guys wanted her to come back. She's my favorite girl in the building. I was gonna say white girl, but I mean, she's one of my favorite girls. I like her. She comes with the tea. She gets into some things. And she knows everything, especially when it comes to Kanye West. So we're gonna bring out my girl, Emily Knows Everything. Hey,
cheers. Happy Saturday, everybody.
Listen, the people loved you. They wanted you back. Okay. They were requesting you. They loved Emily. They said that she was very detail oriented. She got into some things, and they really liked your vibe. So I thought that we'd bring you back. And so, Emily, you were there on Friday. Can you give us what was the rundown with Kanye? What was that? Because when the first time you were here, we weren't sure if he came to the courtroom, and then the next day he came. So tell us what happened.
Well, of course, Dad, get out of here. My dad, when I'm at my parents' house, I came home Friday after, and the first thing he said to me was, "I heard Kanye came, and I bet he didn't talk to you." He has Yeezy merch. Okay, what happened was, Dad, seriously, get out. He came to the courtroom, and I was at the party the night before with his producer, Digital Nas, threw a party, and it was advertised all over that Ye was going to come do one song. Now, I know Ye doesn't really care about anyone but himself and Diddy right now. I knew he wasn't going to come, but it was one stop away on the train. So I decided after your podcast, I went and got drunk at this party, and all of the Ye fans were there and all the Vultures merch. Everyone was waiting for Ye. Once I walked into the venue, I had a feeling in my gut, he's not coming. He's going to that courtroom tomorrow. And I was right. So he ended up pulling up to the courtroom in a Maybach. He got out, and he was wearing a very structured look for a change, because you guys know he's been looking messy for a while in those oversized, messy hoodies. But he was, for once, looking kind of sharp in a fitted white jacket, structured pants. He walked in with his signature, like, pow, you know, his little. And he got that little thing on his lip that's more pronounced now that he got those titanium grills. But we couldn't see if he had the grills in because he didn't open his mouth at all. Now, there's some YouTubers online saying he talked to them.
Yeah,
That's
tell me
Cash.
about that. So there was a rumor that was said, I think that you told me, I guess they were saying that he talked to a YouTuber. What happened with that? Who did he talk to?
They're saying some YouTubers, or I'm not going to name names, but there's a few YouTubers saying that he talked to them, but I guess he did shake the hand of that one guy that's always in the free puff shirt.
Okay.
He got it on video. But I was told that he didn't talk to anyone. Like, he was like laser vision, just walking in. And then they told him that he cannot sit. He was with King and Charlucci. They told him he can't be in the main courtroom because it's going to intimidate the witness and or sway the jury. Because if any of those people are a fan of Ye, they're going to see him sitting with Diddy's family, and then they might be like, you know what, Diddy free. So
not people over here lying and said that Kanye was talking to him, but I don't know who that was.
Maybe he did. I think
is there video footage of it?
No, I think a lot of people were just so excited. I've never seen people so excited. Like, it felt, you were there, Armon, at lunch. It was like a party. People were dancing. They were like, Ye's in the building. People were so happy. But he left after 10 minutes because they opened up a separate overflow room for him so that he could watch the trial on a monitor. He's not going to sit still. He left after, I heard 10 minutes, mainstream's reporting 8. It's either here nor there. He left. He got his photo moment. Now we need to figure out, why did he come? Some people are saying for attention. Others are saying to truly support Diddy. Let's also not forget, tomorrow he's supposed to be dropping his album Bully on June 15th because it's Father's Day and he's always mad at Kim for taking away them kids.
So wait, so did he say, did we get any sound bite from Kanye from inside or out?
Nothing.
So I did hear a video where a lady said, "Why are you here?" And he walked, and then he went into the overflow. So he didn't even talk to anybody going upstairs. Which room do I go? Like, I'm trying to, did we get anything?
Nothing. No one could find him. Jacob from TMZ said it was like people started to play hide and seek. They were looking all over for him. And
so he wasn't in the regular overflow.
No, they wouldn't let him in there. They said, you're too famous. You have to go over here. And he didn't like being isolated, so he dipped. But I'm hearing now from his camp, you guys, that he's got something planned for next week. So
Kanye West, you think is coming back?
It might not be him, but there's going to be something Yeezy, I've been told, is planned for next week to make a statement.
All right, Emily, hold still right there. We got one more guest, and that guest better put that blunt out because they are already trying it. All right, so listen, I really like him. He's lucky that he's my brother because this is not the way you coming on here in no car. You know, when you come on this show, you come correct. We're not smoking and we're not riding no cars. Are you crazy? But it's okay. I'm gonna let you make it today. But yes, okay. So this guy is doing his thing. It's my brother from another mother. Doing his thing on YouTube, killing it. Has an interesting perspective and point of view. Does not hide from the other side of opinion. Doing his thing in a ratchet way. All the way from D-Town. We got Ratchet TV in the building. What's up, my brother?
Salute, man. What's good, man? You know, I had to pop out for my brother, man. My brother from another Armon Wiggins, the hottest person doing this.
Oh my God, do not start this.
Nah, I don't care what nobody talking about. My boy is #1 covering this Diddy case. Can't nobody fuck with Armon Wiggins, man. Salute.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Liquor store, man. So I was trying to get some, I was trying to celebrate with you, man. I'm gonna take a shot.
Okay, well, you need to hurry up and get home. Why is it daytime over there and it's nighttime over here? Anyway, all right, so you left and I need you to come back ASAP.
I start out by saying free puff.
Okay, so that's what I want to get into. So you are like, so are you team Diddy? Like, what's your vibe right now? Like, how do you feel about the Jane Doe? How do you feel about the case? And what you feel like, how do you think it's going? Is Diddy getting off?
Diddy is
there a RICO here?
No. Armon, now, me and you, we met each other through this case, and I'm glad that I met you through this case because you like my favorite person on YouTube at this point. I love Armon Wiggins. I fucking love Armon. But salute to Armon, by the way. He is, Armon is
okay, come on.
Can't nobody fuck with Armon. All right, but
Okay,
anyway,
come on.
Armon, look, we sat in the courtroom for days and days and days, and me and you both were. One day we was like, man, Diddy could beat this. The next day we were like, I don't know, it looks bad for Diddy. But I gotta admit, man, the more I've been watching this case, it just sounds like bitter women that are mad because they couldn't get a job, they couldn't get more money, they couldn't get something that they desperately needed from Diddy. Everybody in this situation did something similar.
Uh-oh. They not liking that. You breaking that.
It's cool. It don't matter. But listen to me, Armon. Everybody changed their story up once it got time for Diddy to go on trial. Am I right?
Well, let me bring some more people on and get your thoughts. What are we thinking?
These people,
we got the crew. So go ahead.
These people changed their stories up on the stand. Secret Service Sam, you sat there with me. We all witnessed the same thing. Everybody got on that stand and started changing their story, and all the testimonies got towards everyone saying, "Oh, well, we kind of did meet up with the DA or the prosecutor."
Well, everybody who was interviewed at some point was like, "So why didn't you tell the government that he threatened your life over the 8 times that you met with him?" And it was like, I felt like every single witness had that same through line, like where they failed to mention certain very important details, like Dawn Richard, you know, definitely they were killing her with that on the stand.
You know what I noticed yesterday? Did you guys notice this? Every witness, when Maureen Comey thought she was going to have like a gotcha moment with Jane Doe, when her last question to her was, "Jane, tell everybody why you're here today." And she thought she was going to say something like Cassie said, like, "I'm here for justice. I'm here for like victims." And all she said was, because I got subpoenaed. And that's how they ended the prosecution. And then I realized she's not the only one that said that. Deontay Nash said it. So did, there's a bunch of people that said it. So did George Kaplan. His whole entire testimony was simping on Diddy. So I'm thinking that like a lot of these people are either obviously scared of Diddy or they're being forced by the government. George Kaplan literally said, "The government forced me to be here."
Right. Well, what about how Amy Comey and Tenny Garagos both hugged Jane Doe?
That was what I thought. So what was that about?
How does that work?
Let me jump in here.
Okay.
Let me jump in here for a second.
Go ahead, Queen.
I don't know. Go ahead, Queen.
Go ahead,
All right, let me
Sheiba.
jump in here for a second. So I think the question is, Armon, what he asked is, do they have a case? Do they have a RICO? Is there racketeering that has been established? And I think what most people don't realize is the government does not need to paint a masterpiece. All they have to do is establish within a 2-year period that he broke the law. They got him on bribery with the Intercontinental Hotel, and he paid $100,000 in cash to make the video go away. They are proving coercion when he pushed her to push through.
Hold on. Let her land.
Yeah. Hold on. It doesn't matter what we think. We got to think about the law, and not just the law, not the state law, but the federal law. I'm neither for A or B, but I think a lot of people have a misinterpretation of the law because you feel like, or not you on the panel, right? But most people feel like they need this extravagant evidence. That's not how it works. The FBI, the federal government has a 95% conviction rate. They only need to establish 2 wrongdoings. They got number 1, a hard number 1, which is bribery. And the security guard testified to that when he said there was a money bag, there was a duffel bag, there was a money counter. We got him on that. We got him on sex trafficking. You know who brought that together? Jonathan on yesterday. Jonathan Perez brought that together when he
How did he do
KK.
that? Because I wasn't there. What happened?
Okay. So now when you're thinking about enterprise, he named the names. The security handles the money. KK runs the free calls. How were you onboarded? How did you learn about hotel night? KK onboarded me. KK taught me how to set up the rooms for hotel night. KK said, this is what you do. They had text messages. KK is like, how far away are you? Clean up the room. Get this, get that. He's texting back and forth with Jane Doe. What do you need? When she's saying, I want protein shakes. I want avocado toast. I'm being facetious.
But
want
let me
this
ask
kind
you
of
this.
hill.
Let me ask you this. Is a jury gonna sit there and look at it that like that and hear a Jane Doe where it looks like a woman is just upset because she's not getting what other women get and really see an enterprise? Or are they just gonna see sex and whores and
Let me finish
scoring with
this and
girlfriends?
give me 10 seconds and I want to pass the mic.
Okay.
I think this is where you get into trouble with the jury, which is why the defense was fighting so hard to keep it diversified. A white
Mhm.
man understands the law, which is why you have a lot of white men on the jury. Black people are typically moved by emotion. They can say she's lying, she consented, she was willing. We heard the parts. You may have the predominantly white jurors that say, I hear the law being broken. You may have the black jurors that say, I hear her saying she's consenting. There's going to be a meeting of the titans.
You like that. I like that. And okay, let me ask you this. Do you think that it's going to be, I was feel like it's going to be a male versus female versus like a black versus white kind of thing in the jury room. I think men might see it as free Diddy and women might see it more of an emotional stance. Like, hey, he's a beater.
But
there's only 6 women.
But at the same time, for black people, I'm just saying for me, even though I can see Diddy being a monster, it's hard when I'm looking at him and his family in there every single day, right? And his kids and his son. And I'm watching 3 white women who represent the feds. And we all taught, don't trust the feds.
6.
That's the white people. That's the police.
6.
So I'm or 6. And so in my mind, I'm like, do I really want to watch 6 white people in this man and take him away from his family? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
It looks like it's like 6 of me.
And Armon, I remember when Jane Doe was talking about the $100,000 budget for the Turks and Caicos trip. I saw one of the black jurors on the stand just like eating his face away with his finger because like we were all feeling and we came out of the courtroom and I was talking with Champ, who's there. He's another, I think, YouTuber or whatever. And we were just talking about, like you were saying, Armon.
Yes,
Armon.
Sam, yes.
Sorry. That we were talking about, like you were saying, men to women. For most men, they look at it as like, he gave her $100,000 budget to go to Turks and Caicos. And how in our minds we don't understand how this can then be coercion and trafficking and paying her rent, still paying for the lawyer. Why is Diddy paying for her lawyer who was trying to put him away for life and take him away from his kids?
Because they were dating up until her arrest.
They were
dating
on the feds. Why don't y'all see
the
what's going on? She flipped on the feds. Everybody who's gotten up on this
good point.
has flipped on the
Good
feds.
point.
She definitely,
I
agree with him on that. She
Can I say
definitely
something?
flipped on the feds at the end.
Wait.
That's why I feel, hold on, let me just get this out. That's why I've been saying the entire time. This wasn't about the feds. This wasn't even about taking Diddy down. She sat up there and was scoring and was like, nigga, I'm going to get you. And so I'm going to make you sweat a little bit. But at the end, she flipped, and that's why she was like, "Don't play with me," because I told you I'm not one of them.
Yes, but here's the thing:
she played with him.
Well, she played with everybody,
Yes,
and that's
she did.
why I say she's playing with everybody, and that's why I said this is a sophisticated level of an enterprise. My thing is, I feel like Jane Doe's contention or her qualms is she wanted to climb the ranks of the Combs enterprise because she knew that Paul, who was an escort, Paul went from being an escort to being personal trainer officially on the pay book. She had a problem with that. Young Miami went from being a city girl to shopping sprees, family trips. She wanted to climb the ranks and move from sex or whatever to whatever. And not only that, when y'all say she's playing with the feds, you have to keep in mind they never had a physical violent relationship until June 18, 2024, 7 months after Cassie dropped her lawsuit. She initiated physical violence after she read the first 3 pages of Cassie's lawsuit when she saw that Cassie got $20 million for being beat up in the Intercontinental Hotel. So she slammed his head against the marble countertop.
So do you believe her?
She testified she hit him.
So you believe her, but you also you see that everyone's testimony is.
Do I believe her in what aspect? Because there's different components of her testimony.
If you're on the jury, can you convict Diddy based on what she said?
I'm
think
not.
if you're on
I
the jury,
don't think they will. I don't think the
Well,
jury.
I
I
think
think
they
at
will.
this
That's
point
what
they need
for
to
everybody
replay
on
that
this
Cassie
panel.
video one more
I
time.
agree, Armon. I think that having Cassie at the beginning, people are already forgetting about that. Like,
They
we're
need to
so
keep
in the
replaying that
moment.
Cassie video.
No, they do. They
Right,
need to
right.
stop. That is where they're losing their case at. This is not a domestic violence case. As many women on
facts.
in the chat who wanna convict Diddy based upon that video. That video has nothing to do with this RICO.
It does
She was
actually.
she
It does
was
have
in a
something to do with it.
consensual freak off when that happened. Consensual. That she planned and she called the fucking escort to get on there. She
Hey,
called.
hey,
Hey.
no cursing.
Oh man.
Okay, it does
You
have
got that
something.
Madison
Wait,
guy.
or you gonna have to send me
Well,
some of that money you got.
I think
It
it
does
does have something to do
with it.
I
because
apologize, Armand.
they're trying to prove that Diddy kicked her to pull her back into the freak off. That's what they're proving.
But she
That's why.
No,
planned
no,
the
no, no,
freak
no, no,
off.
no, no, no. The
Oh, really?
hardcore
planned
proof
this.
is, y'all, the hardcore proof is, does the video have anything to do with the RICO? He paid for the video to go away.
But
And the
also
forensic-
coerced
hold
her
on.
back into
That
the
is
room.
the bribe.
But no, wait a minute.
His
Hold
image.
on. The forensic analyst, that's an expert in digital audio and visual technology, talked about that the file was corrupted because it was transported externally to a trash bin, to a cloud. So that's why it was grainy. So that's why it's connected. Forget about the beating. They were able to connect the dots by the money exchange and also the corruption of the
Yes.
file. Go ahead.
Wow.
Okay, let me
Right,
do one
so
call to action
people
real
in the
quick. Hold on, I
state-
just need
yeah.
to do one call of
Go ahead.
action. Shout out to the 11,000 people in here at 9:45 at night. Wow, that's a lot of people in here for a late night Sunday or Saturday night show. You guys could be anywhere in the world, but you guys are here with us. So shout out to that. They're loving the debate. I'm seeing, looking at the comments, they're loving you see Secret Service Sam, Ratchet, they're not on really your side. Queen Shiba, they loving you, but they mad at what you said about black people not knowing the law. People are feeling some type of way about
To
that.
be honest,
like you
I
made
said
an
they're
ignorant statement about black
emotional.
people.
Because
said
you know
they're
what? I don't know the
emotional.
law. I don't know the
We're
law,
mad at
and
the
I'm
truth.
white. I don't know the
truth is
law.
Diddy is
and
gonna
I don't
walk
think
this case. Free Diddy.
I
free
saw
Puff.
white people on the jury that didn't. They looked like me. I don't think the white people know the law either. The jury that I saw, none of them really looked like they knew the law.
Can you
But
elaborate on that statement of black people not knowing the law?
Can I say this? Let me rephrase that. It's not that they don't know the law. Give me a second. What I'm saying is white men are going to compare what he did to the law, and black people are going to compare what he did to an emotional argument, right? We tend to, as a whole, and I'm including myself, we tend to be a little bit more emotionally connected to the aspect of the case, where white
Yes.
people tend to be a little bit more connected to the legalities of the case. That's all I'm saying.
I don't
And
think so because I'm emotional about this case. I feel like my opinions have been based on emotion. That's why I think I'd be a terrible jury member.
Well, and I think I understand what you're saying, though, Queen Shiba, but I think the most interesting thing that you just made me think about is that we're all focused on that video. And like you said, it's not about domestic violence. And no, what it is that video proves the bribery, like you're saying, you know, so we kind of get caught up on this video is awful, but it's really about the exchange of money is where the federal government is able to drop in that, like, you know, RICO charge or whatnot.
But you guys disagreed with me. But the defense.
Where does
Okay, go
bribery
ahead.
come into that video? Where does bribery come into that video?
Well, no, not into the video. But what we're saying is when Diddy had, I'm spacing on his name right now, Eddie Garcia, go to Diddy's house with the hard drive. Diddy gave him $100,000. So that is where the federal government.
Based upon a RICO. So what did that have to do with the RICO, though?
Because
Well,
KK made the call. Hold on. KK made
Go
the
ahead.
call. He said, no, I don't have the authority to extract that video and give it to you. And then KK showed up 90 minutes after his shift began, and he got a call that's saying, those
So was that video
they are
about
in the
domestic
lobby. Hold on,
violence?
let me
Was that-
finish
was-
because you asked. Let me finish because you asked. And he got a call 90 minutes later after starting his shift at 2 p.m. that day that KK showed up after he told her no. That's coercion. That's manipulation.
Wait. I wasn't there for that. So say that again slow for me. What?
When Diddy and Cassie had the exchange in the hallway, the physical violence, and the second shift of the security team and the Intercontinental took their shift, he testified under oath. He got a call, even though he was not there to work that shift. He told
Right.
KK, I'm sorry, I can't give you the tape. Diddy's team showed up.
Oh
And
yeah,
that's
yeah, yeah, yeah. I know
coercion.
that part.
That's force.
And called
That's
him at home
manipulation.
too. Yeah,
But is
Eddie
that
Garcia
clear?
got a
But let
call
me
at
ask you this.
home.
Okay, let me see.
That
Let
is
me
not
ask
a
you guys this. Okay, I hear the coercion. I hear that. I feel like Cassie is the only part of this story that's clear coercion. Everything else is not clear, though.
So,
Well, I guess with
Armand,
like
to answer your
Don
question,
Richard.
do you take Kid Cudi's testimony into any?
Yes, I feel like that's true. I feel like there's no way getting around that. I mean, the police got the records where you are literally in front of the house.
But they
What year
can't
was
prove it.
Hold
There's
on,
no.
hold on,
I mean,
hold on,
but the license
know.
plate proved
Armand,
that.
what year was that? What year was that, Armand?
That was
2011?
2012.
Hold on, when did the
2011.
RICO, hold on, wait. Armand, when did the RICO start?
I don't know. When did the RICO start?
When did Diddy get, hold on, when did Diddy get arrested?
March 25th,
March-
2024.
Four.
Yeah.
Okay, so when does the RICO align with this?
Okay, so they've been so to
wait,
answer,
no. Wait, hold on, no. 2014. That's the correct answer. A RICO
No,
can
he's
only
been
go
under
back
investigation.
a
But you
RICO
haven't
can
been in the
only go back
courtroom.
within a
Hold on.
10-year period.
Yes, that's correct. But they
So if it happened
get
in
to start the
2012, it's before
hold
the
on.
RICO. You can't charge me with
But
a RICO before a RICO.
right. You're absolutely correct. But they get to determine when that clock starts, not Diddy. So for the past 6 years, hold on, let me finish. According to the past under testimony, the feds have been keeping track of Diddy for the past 6 years, which will give them a 4-year run out beyond 2025. Anything else that they come up with in the discovery
Okay,
phase.
so what I want to do now.
Can I
Hold on.
say
Yeah, I'm gonna let you.
something
Hold on. I'm gonna
random?
let you land. I'm gonna let you land. Give me 1 second. So what we're gonna do now. Well, you guys are not all at once. Not you guys understand. I'm going to allow some members of the public to come on and ask their questions and kind of chime in with some of you guys because you guys have been in the courtroom. Now, I need to let you guys know this. If you get on here and you start cursing, you say any of the alias witness names, anything trying to be funny, you'll be blocked and banned for life. And I will make sure that I give the feds your YouTube channel. Okay. So I'm going to put the link in here. You guys can join, ask your questions. Don't be disrespectful to any of my guests. I don't care if you like their opinion or you don't, but you can respectfully disagree. Okay. All right. So go ahead, Emily, while we wait for other
I
people
just
to come on.
wanted to like calm the energy down by just throwing out a person we can all agree that we think is annoying. Kim Kardashian unfollowed Diddy the day before the feds raided his place. She unfollowed him on March 24th, 2024. That I posted months ago, and people are still, I want to know if Sheiba has any clue, because people are thinking that Kanye, Corey Gamble tipped her off, or Lou Taylor, because I don't know if you heard in the courtroom the other day, Robin Greenhill, who's TriStar Entertainment's accountant, was Diddy's accountant. That's the person behind Britney Spears' conservatorship. She's also Kim Kardashian's business manager. So somebody thinks that Kim Kardashian knew about the federal raid. So she unfollowed Diddy on Instagram the day before the raid. That cannot be a coincidence.
Yeah.
Okay, let's take a caller. All right.
Yeah, and Armand.
No,
I think
no one
you're-
did it before the raid.
What?
Let me know if it's loud. They're mowing yards by me. Let me
No,
know
I can hear you. Go ahead. Just jump in. Just jump in.
So what I wanted to say was I fully understand what Queen was saying by Black people getting emotional. I have been on Facebook throughout this whole thing, and constantly all people are saying is being a freak ain't a crime. Being a freak ain't a crime. They're not actually listening to the trial. They're not actually keeping up with the facts. They're only knowing and going off of, well, if it's just about Cassie, he not going to jail. It's not a domestic violence case. And I'm like, but y'all are not piecing the parts together of what makes what he is doing a RICO. So I fully understand what she means by Black people being over emotional, or just people, period. Because we don't even have to put it on Black people. I'm looking at so many people who don't get it. That's literally all I came to say. Too many people don't get it. Yeah.
Yeah. And
What makes what Diddy did a RICO?
What? Are you listening?
so
First of all, he forced Cassie back in that room. That automatically is force and
That's
coercion.
what I
You
was
cannot
trying to
force
say.
somebody to do
Hold on,
that.
hold on.
So if
Well,
you
that's
just
the
go off
trafficking
video,
right there. That's the
Literally.
trafficking.
That's what I was trying to say.
That's the trafficking. But there's 3 charges though. That's the trafficking. I don't know if that is the RICO though.
And
The RICO, you got to
here's
prove the
thing.
enterprise.
And
That's
you
what
gotta
I'm
prove,
saying.
you have to
Armon,
prove.
Armon.
No. So that's the trafficking. So that charge is that to me, that charge is clear. The
Enforcing
RICO,
the
you
employees
have
by
to
drugs.
prove the enterprise. So you have to prove that there was other people in play. This is why KK keeps being brought up as a co-conspirator, because
Forcing them to buy those drugs.
adds to the enterprise.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
why
I agree with
D-Rock is being brought up. These are co-conspirators to the enterprise.
So
Go ahead.
And I think
all these
Dari-
people going and buying
Testimony of
drugs for
KK
him
and
in order
D-Rock,
to keep their job.
you
They
think
wouldn't
they
keep
can-
their job if they don't go buy the drugs that he told them to go
Armon.
buy. So that's racketeering right there. You're forcing other
Armon.
people, a part of your enterprise, to go and buy drugs for you to do your thing.
Right. I think
you
Dari,
think
I think
testimony
what
of
Dari
KK
said is, hang on. I think what Dari said is absolutely correct. And I think Ratchet, what you're saying is correct. And so I think what'll be interesting to see is the jury. Like I thought Armon, one of your guest audience just posted, the jury, it has to be unanimous. So while we can say, like Dari said, she's right and Queen Shiba is right, the RICO, it is there to convict. They have shown some of these things on this fringe, but what my question is, are they convincing the jury of that? You know, because Queen
Bingo.
Shiba, you're brilliant. Dari, we're all smart, intelligent people. We don't know how intelligent all those jurors are, or the layman person. Like you said, Queen Shiba, people are emotional. You know, like Dari said, it's not just Black people, it's all people around this case are emotional. They think I'm a paid plant now because I'm like, yo, Diddy's winning in there. And they're like, Sam, you're a paid plant. I'm like, no, it's a sports game and you can't get your feelings involved. If your favorite team is losing the Super Bowl, your feelings aren't going to change the score. And so that's what we'll have to wait and see is how does this jury feel? Because that's what it comes down to. It doesn't even matter what's right, what's wrong, what's been proven. It's how is that jury going to react?
And let me to add to your point, I think the problem is every witness that the prosecution has brought to some point, the last three have been trash. From
Exactly.
Bonna to Mia to Jane Doe. They've all
gotten
been
worse and
failed
worse.
witnesses, and it's gotten so muddy and so blurry to where it's like, if you're not a lawyer or you're not someone sitting in that courtroom every single day, like with this eye of like trying to really understand what's going on. If you're a member of the general public and you're like, all right, I got to pick a side. I just feel like
Yes.
it looks like I'm confused. It looks like all these women are liars and they was all
Right.
going.
That's
So
why
it makes you feel like I don't see a RICO here. The
I was
case
sitting-
is
Is this
not
a
that
case about
strong.
domestic violence and Cassie, or is this a case about a RICO? That's my point. If you were a juror on this jury right now, could you convict Diddy today and say he's definitely guilty of a RICO? He deserves.
I can convict him on sex trafficking. I mean, even if he gets convicted on that, he's doing time.
Right. Yeah, and like
RICO
I said,
is one
I
of the
think,
charges. It's 3 charges.
Yes.
So, Sheiba,
But
you
will
were in the room
jury
with me
be
on
Okay, Darius,
Thursday.
go ahead.
Okay, go ahead, Sheiba.
Sheiba, you were in the room with me on Thursday. We were sitting next to each other. And do you remember how the women were reacting to Jane Doe? They were when Tenny Garagos would take the stand, there was 2 women, the younger women on the jury. Anytime Tenny started kind of like going in on Jane Doe, those women were going, they were like dialed in. And I was like, oh, those 2 women, I
Yes.
think, are siding with defense. And that's
Yes.
why it was weird that they tried to dismiss juror number 6, because everyone's saying he was making faces. I clocked him all day. He didn't even move his face. He was just sitting there bored like this. But
Emily,
remember,
did you
Sheiba,
see,
those 2 women were like really in. They were looking at it like it was a TV show. And
Can I
feel
jump
like,
in real quick?
Yes.
Yeah, Sheiba, I remember
It's-
pointing them out to you.
Yeah, I wrote down too, it was like a ping pong match or tennis match. And I saw her actually laugh at Tenny, the Black female juror, because she was like, and she was like, okay, what now, bit? You know, like, so I definitely saw that body.
They
Okay,
didn't like
before
Jane
you
Doe.
start, Sheiba, real quick, sorry. I just want to put out what the 3 charges are. Racketeering, conspiracy, that's the RICO. Sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, that's number 2. And number 3 is transportation to engage in prostitution. I feel like the 2 out of the 3 are clear. The transportation to engage in prostitution is clear. The sex trafficking by force or fraud or coercion is clear. Now, they were trying to use the force or fraud with Jane Doe. I don't know if that was really clear, but we got it with Cassie. Now the RICO, I don't know if the RICO is clear. Go ahead, Queen.
Yeah.
So the RICO is clear. If you look up the federal definition, I know a lot of people are saying, point me to the people in the enterprise. But what the federal definition actually says, an individual or individuals, meaning I can get you on one person or I can get you on plural. So that's where we have it. But they just, I think what they're looking for is a strong, we have it. But if not, they'll just go with him. The second thing is Jonathan Perez made it all come together when he said KK's in charge of the sex, the security is in charge of the money, Jess is in charge of the flying, the escorts, and Jane Doe all across the world. Fahim is in charge of this. This person is in charge of that. So Jonathan brought it all together. And the other thing you guys were talking about, don't forget about the bribery, the 100K. The 100K where KK actually gives the security guard the address of where to go to drop off the tape to receive the money.
But
So it says here, a RICO involves the racketeer, influence, and corrupt organizations. Who wants to read this? Because I can't read this shit right now.
I will.
Okay.
A RICO case involves the racketeer, influence.
Hold on. Let him read this. Let him read it.
The RICO case involves the Racketeer, Influenced, and Corrupt Organizations Act, RICO, a U.S. federal law designed to combat organized crime by targeting criminal enterprises. It allows prosecutors to charge individuals involved in a pattern of racketeering activity, even if they are not directly involved in each crime. This often involves multiple defendants and a wide range of illegal activities, potentially including fraud, bribery, extortion, and violence. Here's a more detailed explanation.
So we got bribery and we got extortion. They proved the extortion because he extorted Cassie's mom.
They only have to prove two.
Right.
They only need to prove two,
Hold on,
don't they?
Armon,
Is that
wait,
true?
Okay, well, let him keep reading. Let him keep going. Let him keep going.
What year did he extort Cassie's mom in?
But keep going. Let's get the whole definition out.
So key aspects of RICO: criminal enterprise. RICO focuses on prosecuting those who participate in a criminal enterprise, which can be any group of individuals, partnership, corporation, or association. Pattern of racketeering activity. A pattern is established by committing at least 2 racketeering acts within a 10-year period. Racketeering activities. The law lists 35 specific crimes that can be considered racketeering activities, including drug trafficking, money laundering, extortion, and various types of fraud.
Okay. So that is what a RICO is, ladies and gentlemen.
Right. And didn't they prove the drug trafficking? I think they proved the drug trafficking.
There's more.
There's more. Hold on.
But wait, there's more. Enhanced penalties. RICO charges often carry severe penalties, including lengthy prison sentences, substantial fines, and asset forfeiture. Oh, wow. You're just trying to make it smaller on me, Armon.
Okay, sorry.
Examples of RICO cases. RICO charges have been used in cases involving organized crime syndicates, but also in cases involving corruption in government and business. A prominent example is the Kids for Cats. Oh, the 1-800 cars for kids. It was where judges were charged with RICO violations for taking kickbacks related to juvenile justice cases. In essence, RICO provides a powerful tool for law enforcement to dismantle criminal organizations by targeting their structure, activities, and financial gains.
Okay, so let me do something. One more thing, and then.
But can I say
you guys
one
go
thing,
ahead.
Armon? Here's my question. Okay, so the trafficking, the taking Anton, the taking, S workers and everything. But at what point can't somebody, a wealthy man or woman, live out their sexual fantasies? So you're saying they have to stay in their home state? If I want to take my freakiness to the islands, then it's a federal charge. Like, I think that's a hard part that a lot of people don't understand. Like, Diddy just has a lot of money and he's living out his sexual fantasies. So why is that a federal crime?
Okay, read this one, Sam. Do you see this? To secure RICO conviction against Diddy. Go ahead.
Yeah, the government must prove he was involved in a criminal enterprise and that the enterprise engaged in or planned to engage in at least 2 racketeering acts within a 10-year period. This involves demonstrating that Diddy was part of a group, the enterprise engaged in a pattern of illegal activity, and that he either committed or directed those activities. Specific elements the government must prove include criminal enterprise. Prosecutors must show that Diddy was part of a group, whether formal or informal, that engaged in a pattern of criminal activity. Pattern of racketeering activity. This requires proving that the enterprise committed or intended to commit at least 2 predicate acts, specific crimes within a 10-year period. These acts can include various offenses like sex trafficking, drug trafficking, violence, bribery, and obstruction of justice. Diddy's involvement. The government must demonstrate Diddy's connection to the enterprise and the racketeering activity. This could involve showing he participated in, directed, or facilitated the criminal acts. Interstate commerce. In many cases, the government must also prove the racketeering activity affected or was intended to affect interstate commerce. In the case of Diddy, the indictment specifically mentions sex trafficking, including the alleged freak-offs or King's Nights, violence and intimidation used to control victims, drug offenses, including obtaining and distributing narcotics to victims, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and obstruction of justice. Essentially, the government needs to paint a picture of a criminal enterprise led by Diddy, where he and his associates engaged in a pattern of serious crimes, and Diddy played a significant role in those activities.
Oh, if that's the case, then you got yourself a RICO, because all that is clear. Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
ChatGPT needs to be the lawyer.
You got you a RICO for sure, hands down.
The government needs to hire.
Can I speak?
Government needs to hire.
You got you a RICO.
No. I'm gonna tell you
how do you not?
Half of the things that we've heard gotta get thrown out the window, because that clearly states it has to be within a 10-year period. The bribery took place in 2011. A lot of the stuff that happened previous to 2014. 9 times out of 10, we're talking about things that happened in 2005, 2007, 2009.
That's not true. Jane Doe was just 2 years last year. Cassie was up to 2018.
Do you believe
Mia was?
Yes.
Mia was just 2024.
Jane Doe was running drugs.
Or Jane Doe,
Jane Doe was running. So let me. Hold on. Let me run it down for him.
Okay, but that's one thing. Okay, go ahead, Queen.
No, but Jane Doe to Ratchet TV. Jane Doe was involved in a personal relationship with Diddy from 2021 to 2023. We have not surpassed the 10-year mark, because within that 3-year period of 2024, I'm sorry.
Yes, we believe Jane Doe.
Okay, go ahead. She was running the drugs from Los Angeles to Miami, and based on the potency of the drug, you can only get it from LA. He lived in Miami. He has access to Colombians. Hold on. Wait. Let me finish. Hold on. Y'all just give me a couple of seconds.
Let her land.
Yes, golly. So listen, based on the drugs that he wanted, you remember she talked about doing ecstasy with him? She says she's done it before, but she never did his ecstasy. Because when she took it, she hit that sand. You remember she said the ecstasy hit her so hard she fell in the sand. So the drugs that he wanted originated from LA. So that was between 2021 and 2024. We have not entered into the 10-year run out. That's all I want to say.
What,
and I have to say, I think I know what I think I want to say something to Ratchet TV. Ratchet TV, I have something to say to you. I hear you. I understand why you're feeling like this, because today I was at a local library in an all-white, small, hunky-dory town, and I went in there with my big mouth and started talking about Diddy, and all of these white people said, he's got to be arrested because we need to make an example out of him. And right there is what I think they are doing, because what you said earlier is what Diddy's doing is what a lot of rappers are doing. It's not
a lot of rock musicians have.
No, but I mean, it's still a crime.
I know. No, it's not.
There's rappers ordering prostitutes.
No. See, it's not just having sex. It's the coercion in it. It's the trafficking. It's the prostitution.
These girls are
not. No, Armon, they're
the crime of it.
They loved it.
There's politicians, white politicians that are engaging in coercion too, and I think that's why the public is mad, because they're like,
when I don't want to do a freak off and you threaten to stop paying my rent, that you're coercing me. You're defrauding me.
He is still paying.
No, I know.
When you kick my ass and drag me and knock me out and extort my mother for $20,000 because you mad
That was before 2016, 2014. That was
No, I
2011.
think Ratchet TV is just saying that like there's other people like Kanye literally posted this on March 8th. Everybody
Ooh.
hits women. Hold on, what did he say? He said,
Oh my God.
Puff, we love you.
Girl!
Puff, we love.
Well, hold on.
He said, this is why this is why Kanye showed up to court, because you know he has a lawsuit against him right now, and he's claiming that the woman suing him is extorting him. He said on March 18th, how every N-word hit a girl before, but everybody's so mad at Puff. Cassie trying to extort Puff. Cassie came to Puff and said, give me 30 million or I'm gonna release a tell-all book. That looks like extortion to me. Then she replied by reposting Cardi saying, yay, shut the F up. Earlier, he said, my support of Puff is completely selfish. I am supporting Puff because I am selfish and I need to find out who is trying to take down black moguls because white men are doing the same. So I think that's where that side
Well,
of the argument
Kanye's
is
taking
coming
himself
from.
down. But
Okay, hold on.
understand
Let's
exactly what I'm saying.
take
There's
some more
selfish-
people. Let's put that on ice really quick. We're gonna take a week. Listen, my thing is blinking on the back end. It's so many people trying to get in here, and so it's causing my freaking thing to glitch. We are on fire tonight. We have over 12,000 people in the chat. The
Wow.
girls came out for the Saturday night. You guys are on one of the littest shows, okay, on YouTube, and I got some of the littest people in the motherfucking building. Okay, so thank you guys for being here. Let's take some more people now, baby. You come on here crashing out. I am blocking you. Okay, so come on.
Armon, one thing I just want to say, all of us can talk one at a time.
Yes, go ahead, Tom.
Try not to interrupt each other.
Thomas.
I am so full. I cannot. I'm so full, Armand.
Okay.
I'm so full tonight. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just I'm on a roller coaster ride right about now. Like, you know what I mean?
So
Like,
how do you feel? Come on, spit it out, get it out, scream.
my thing is come Monday, that white basketball player, he's gonna shut it down because that's the last of the jury right there. He's gonna shut the RICO down on period. And
Who's the basketball player?
Yeah,
I wasn't there Friday.
I don't know his name, but on Monday he's gonna shut it down. I don't know his name, but
I thought it was a baseball player.
he's a basketball player. First of all,
there's also a baseball player, but you didn't hear it from me.
no, but he's a basketball player.
So who's coming Monday?
But
What's going on?
He's gonna shut it. He's gonna shut the RICO down. He's the last of the jury, the trial, and he's gonna shut everything. He got all the receipts, Armand.
And he's supposed to be in the freak off, or somebody help me out. Who was it?
No, he was down with Diddy. He got all the receipts. He got all the tapes, everything.
The drug
he's gonna
mule?
shut on this RICO. Yes.
Okay.
He's gonna shut it down Monday. Wait till Monday, y'all. He's gonna shut it down.
What I don't understand, why aren't they going after
all the way
drug
down
dealers?
Okay,
why aren't they going after the dealers who supply like One Stop?
Where's One Stop at? Well, Ray J is claiming that he's not a part of it.
I know. So what's up with that? Ratchet is
so
in
wait,
the
hold on.
studio
Did we miss you guys? You guys are my expert panel from Friday. Who is this? You guys are supposed to be up on it. What happened? What basketball player is coming on the stand Monday?
That's news to me.
Yeah, that's news to me too.
I don't know if that's a TikTok conspiracy or if he has some tea that I just missed when I was like distracted, but I never heard about that.
Okay, and Ratchet, if you could turn your camera sideways, Stinky, thank you. We're gonna remove you.
I've been told there's gonna be a baseball player that's coming to the stand.
Okay, Queen Shiba, what is the tea? What do you have that in your notes? Who's coming Monday? I can't hear you, boo. No, I cannot hear you. She gonna bring it back. Okay, Ratchet, you just not gonna listen to me, huh? All right, let's bring somebody else.
We know Friday juror number 6 was dismissed, you know, obviously because he lives in NYC, but his girlfriend and baby live in Jersey. So I don't know why they're kind of flipping on him that much, just kind of, or thinking he's lying that much. Like Xavier Donaldson was saying there's so many people in New York who live in New York and then, go to visit their family in Jersey or whatnot.
Yes, we went over that. Okay, hey, Okay, you playing
Whoa.
games?
It's a
Excuse me.
Can you hear
Excuse
me?
me. I had
Yes.
Mexican last night.
Okay, the basketball player he's talking about was Paul, the drug mule. The one that got locked up the first time. That's who
Oh,
he's
the
talking
young
about. The
boy.
Syracuse player.
Okay.
That's who he's talking about.
And he's coming
Hey,
Monday.
Sam.
You
Yeah,
guys
if you go
sometimes
on
know more than we
YouTube,
do.
they got a video of him like
Queen, we
kicking
can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
No, I can hear you. I can't hear Queen Shiba's.
Oh,
But go ahead. So go ahead, boo.
I was saying, if you go on YouTube, they got a video of his interrogation, and he talks about everything and like how it's more than Diddy, it's a lot of other people involved. But what I want to know, if racketeering is the biggest thing, why aren't they like locking up the doctors that allowed him to get those prescription pills under Frank Black?
Right.
Yeah, where are those
Yeah.
doctors at? And see, here's the
Well,
thing.
that's
I feel
why.
like,
Where are the doctors and where are the drug dealers? You know,
and where is
Diddy's
KK? But
got
I
his
feel like they're
personal,
building a
right?
case against KK and D-Rock because they're not talking.
Unless KK gets up on that stand and flips on Diddy, unless D-Rock gets up on that stand and
And they're
flips on
not.
Diddy,
I don't think they're
you
going
don't
to.
have a RICO. Unless those people get up on the stand and flip. And Gina was the one you needed, and she's gone. Gina's gone. You don't got D-Rock, you don't got KK, and you don't got Harv Pierre. Those are your four people to give you a RICO.
And how about Brianna? Even when they were like, they totally destroyed her on the stand when they were talking about hanging her over the balcony.
Yeah, they
and
did.
then she took the picture because even people were saying Diddy is not tall enough to physically hold her up like that, where her feet were dangling. And then also they were saying the picture that she took, the metadata on the picture was September 26th, but Diddy was performing in New York on September 26th. So, you know, Miss Moreland said, how can somebody be in two places at one time? And then she said, no further questions. And I was just like, everybody in that courtroom, at first I was like, that girl got held over that balcony. And then after that, I was like, did she?
Right, me too. Every time. But I think what's interesting is, though, I feel like the defense has that edge because they always come in and are able to poke holes. So what's going to be interesting within the next 2 weeks, if once the defense gets on and presents their case, will the prosecution be able to do the same thing?
Right,
and if they can't, they're going to lose this case.
It looks like a bunch of people got immunity and a bunch of people are on Diddy's payroll.
Yes.
Go ahead, Vonnie.
Hi, y'all hear me?
Hey, what's going on? We can hear you, boo. Talk to us.
Armon, I love you. Emily, I love you. Sam, I love you. And Queen Shiba, oh my gosh, that commentary yesterday, you went there, okay? The RICO, it's a week, and oh, wait a minute, Ratchet, I love you too.
Salute.
So listen, okay, my take. It's a weak RICO, okay? Propaganda. We all know that black men can't get away with the same stuff that other people of other nationalities do. Okay, they're gonna throw the book, they're gonna throw them under the jail. So it's a weak RICO. I'm not saying that Diddy didn't perform bad deeds. Okay, I really honestly think he needed to be stopped because he was off the chain. Okay, so God just intervened for him. However, this RICO thing to send him to jail for over 30 years or whatever it is, no. Where's the other people? Like you said, Ratchet, give me KK. Come on, give me some other people. He's not in this alone. Come on, Queen Shiba, talk about them layers. This is more than Diddy. Okay, come on, y'all. Why everybody got immunity? Okay, and let's parallel it with mob cases. I did a little research, but I still need to go do some more. Okay, no, they want the top man. Who's the top man in this RICO? It's not Diddy.
It's not Diddy.
It's right. If I dare say,
Tommy Mottola is over Diddy.
If I dare say, it's Lucifer. Then it's Hollywood. Then it's the Freemasons. Then it's the Illuminati. Then and the mob, because they're all.
You understand?
This is a lifestyle. You understand what I'm saying? Okay.
Yeah,
let me calm down. Thank you, Armon. I love you. Okay.
You're right. How does
what
Tommy
about the
Mottola's name not get mentioned in any of this? Do you know who Tommy Mottola is?
Yeah. Jackson said he's the devil. So he's the devil.
How does Clive Davis not get in this? Tommy
And he-
Mottola, Quincy Jones, RIP. But what
This
are
is
we talking
bullshit.
about here? This
I mean, or like
is
we've talked
way
about,
bigger than Diddy. This was
right?
about what evidence Diddy had in his house. When they went and raided his house, they didn't give up what they got in there. They hid everything that they really got because they want to sweep that under the rug and blame it all on Diddy.
That's
When
what
it's
I
They
wanted to
only
know.
way
raided
more.
one
Where's all the
property.
Diddy evidence from his house?
Yes,
They don't
They
got
raided
it. You know
one
why?
Star
Because they had it
Island.
on. They got it on
Baby oil.
presidential
Where's
candidates.
DVD?
They got it on
When it's
Newscomb
done.
from California. They got them on all the politicians, all of the higher ups. Diddy had evidence on all of them. They raided
Yes.
Diddy's crib.
I
And
do
took,
think that that's interesting because we only got
Yeah.
the stuff that Cassie gave, but you guys raided Diddy's house and got all
And they
this
said
information.
nothing.
and it's all about
Where is
Cassie.
it?
It's all. But they
They
said they
did
had
not
mountains
raid
of
one
evidence.
And
Star
hold
Island.
on. And keep
But
in mind, they came by boat.
But remember, they said before this they had mountains of evidence on Diddy. Mountains. This was their words. We got mountains of evidence. Where's the evidence? Where's the
Right, they
mountains of
got it.
evidence?
He had 2 properties on Star Island, 1 star and 2 star. Both were they were having freak offs. The prosecution made a point to say that they just didn't raid 1 Star Island. And King has a
Why?
song where he says
Right.
the feds raided the
Well,
wrong place.
So
So
where's
it's
the
like,
Right,
evidence?
right.
was all the stuff
hold
with
on.
the
And
celebrities
that's a
at
good
that one?
question.
Right.
And that's what Mark Agnafilio was arguing on Friday with the special agent when he says the agents have the ability to lie and be corrupt. Because when he questioned them regarding their standard protocol with seizures and searches, they did not document before, during,
Right.
and after. So what
Exactly.
he's
How
saying
about the
is
fact
how do
that-
we know? How do we
Right.
know that you didn't put the guns in the house? How do we know that you
Right.
didn't
Well,
plant
when
the
he
evidence?
said-
Because you don't even have evidence
Yeah.
to show
Well,
what was there before you got there. You in the process of during seizing
Yeah.
and also after what it looked like.
Queen Shiba, that
Well,
was the craziest
yeah.
testimony to me when the DHS guy, when they nailed him, they're like, you don't take pictures before you go in and disturb a crime scene. And you would think like that's just 101. You in the first day in school, and he goes, no, we didn't. So what's crazy is the AR-15s are on the ground. And then they show, well, there was another pew that was found in the security room.
But they weren't even
he
put
says,
together.
yeah, but these were up. Right. Let me finish. So yeah, they weren't put together and they were up on this second shelf in that closet. Well, how do we know that? You didn't take a picture. We only have a picture of them on the ground. How do we know where they were? They could have been in that security room, which would have been plenty normal. And let's just to take it further, the serial numbers are scratched off. The guy testified and said it's almost impossible to link a gun to somebody when there's no serial numbers. So even through all that, they couldn't even link the guns to him in his home.
This is a weak RICO, bro. Weak.
And then the high heels. Remember when the guy picked up and he showed the pair of red high heels? I'm like, what are we doing? What does that have anything to do? It's like, and here's my wife's lingerie. Here, it's Victoria's Secret. It's like, what are we doing here?
Take away the Cassie testimony for 1 second. Outside of that testimony, what do you have on Diddy? Because everyone's testimony that everyone feel like it was so compelling was all linked to Cassie's. And then once you do the math, you start to see all of these people from Deontay to Mia to all of the other people, they're either friends of Cassie, they look at her like a sister, and they all spoke to her before she testified, during her testimony, and after she got off the stand.
And
so
they
everyone was able to link it.
Yeah.
Everyone was able to piece their stories together.
Collusion.
Yep. Hey, Armon, I might have to get rolling.
Okay, it's okay, Sam. But thank you so much for coming in, Secret Circle for Sam. We've got another guest coming in.
You.
We've got our girl. We've got Miss Sylvia coming in the building to replace you. So thank you,
Hey,
Secret Circle for Sam.
thank you, Armon. Thank you, Ratchet TV, Queen Shiba. Emily knows everything, and I just want to tell everybody, Armon, the message you gave to me, being a white creator, speaking on this, how you said people take looking like I do, they take it. Sometimes more, though, I have more weight because of the way I look. And I just want to let you know that I carry that responsibility and I'll do my best to report honestly on this case. And I am an appreciator, not an appropriator. So
thank you, Secret Service Sam. And you know, when I get back into town, I'll have to come sit on your podcast because you know we're neighbors.
Yeah,
Me,
come
you,
on
and
in.
Emily, we all live in the
I
same
know.
city.
That's crazy.
Come on up.
So we
I'm in
might
the
need to do a
podcast
pod.
studio now. Come on up. You know, I'm in the studio.
So, you know, have a great day. Have lots of beer for us.
You
Are you
too.
coming back to the case?
I am. I'm going on family vacation right now for a little bit, some much needed, you know, and I want to go, but I'm like, I would be the worst husband and father if I chose to go to the Diddy case over my family vacation. You know what I mean? So I'm doing the right thing. And yeah, I'm going to try and come back like right before the verdict and then for the verdict. So I definitely, you know me, I will be back there.
All right, Secret Service Sam.
You know,
It was so
love you
great
guys.
having
Appreciate
you.
it.
We loved your perspective.
Thanks, Sam.
And you're the best.
Thank you.
See you.
Okay, you too, guys. Bye, guys.
Secret Service Sam, everybody. Okay, let's keep this show on the road. And then there were 3. Let me see. I think there's somebody else.
I have to hop off in 10 minutes, but I just wanted to bring up one point before I hop off. And it's that Jimmy Iovine was named in this case during Capricorn Clark's testimony. So people wanted some big music industry names. Sheiba is nodding her head. She knows exactly what I'm talking about. Jimmy Iovine had a Interscope. Allegedly, Capricorn said after she was fired by Diddy, she was seeking out other opportunities in the entertainment industry, and she was invited to Interscope by Jimmy Iovine and Larry Jackson. And when she got to the office, they said to her, hey, you better not mess with Puff or it will end badly for you. So that's Jimmy Iovine helping Diddy carry out the RICO, but why is he immune? Like, why is this guy that's huge in a gatekeeper in the music industry? She had none of the news outlets even reported that. They're slipping it under the rug when it's a white executive on top of the music industry. Sheiba, and Armon, what do you guys think about that?
I'll let you and Ratchet take that because I'm trying to get Miss Sylvia in here really quick.
I agree with you. I agree. I think the government is working very hard to keep particular names outside of this case. And I don't know if that's because they plan to come after these people a little bit later and they just need them to incubate just a little bit longer, stay warm, feel comfortable, feel safe so that you don't start tampering.
They did nothing to Vince McMahon. Where's Vince McMahon in this? Vince McMahon did a lot worse than Diddy did.
Look at the Abercrombie guy. I did a whole thing on that. That trafficking ring was so messed up. I spent hours deep diving that case. It is sickening what they did to those Abercrombie models. They were underage too. And guess what the guy's pleading now? Dementia. Yeah, and it's getting no media coverage. Because whenever I'm talking about Diddy, people are like, you need to bring up the Abercrombie. I'm like, Mike Jeffries, I've talked about him. He's a sick man. But guess who sponsored him? Les Wexner, who was Epstein's only client. So these people are protected.
Thank you for bringing it up. Where is the Epstein list? We're so busy talking about Diddy. Everyone was talking about kids. Diddy don't got nothing to do. There's no kids that have been mentioned in this case at all. But the only kids that have been mentioned are the ones that was on the island with Mr. Jeffrey, and that's swept under the rug. And we're so busy.
That was a big media. That was
Diddy.
a PR stunt by Pam Bondi. That was bullshit. We're never getting the list.
We're never going to.
I used to work for a woman that got the binder, and it's a big. I don't work there anymore. She was one of the chosen influencers that got that binder, the Epstein files. That was a big nothing burger. Yeah, we're never getting that list. And now Cash Patel's on Joe Rogan saying, "Oh, it's really not. The list is nothing." It's like, what?
No, the list is everything, and we're not talking about that list because we're so consumed with Diddy and Cassie. This whole case is about Diddy beating Cassie. Period, point blank. Everyone who's jumped up on the stand attests to Diddy being abusive. We can't hear you if you're talking, Armon. I don't know if you're talking to us, Armon.
Oh, Armon, I think you're muted.
Oh, I'm dragging it. I'm over here, and it should be.
Yeah, come on, man.
I think if anyone's watching, there's a lot of people that watch this. If you're unfamiliar with the Abercrombie case, look it up, because what that man did, it's sickening, and it all leads back to Les Wexner and Epstein. And it's at Limited Brands. You guys, if you shopped at Abercrombie in the 2000s, you'll like the case.
Oh, shoot.
Okay, make it quick. Make it quick. We got 10 minutes.
Oh, okay. I'm on here. All right. In my professional opinion, as a person that has worked in the drug courts, person that is a therapist, and I am also a victim. So I believe he is gonna go to jail. It might not be for everything on a RICO, but he is going to jail. My other opinion is we all have choices.
No matter what their situation is, they had a choice, and it was all backed up. They wanted fame, they wanted the money, but I do believe Diddy is wrong for the things that he did. In my professional opinion, he has an issue with his mother. Something happened to him when he was younger. I believe he hates women, and he takes what he does. He does that to take it out on women because he cannot live in his truth. So what he's doing it through the females, but he hates women. And that's my opinion.
I can agree.
And
with that.
Armon, I am so happy for you. You're doing so good.
Do you think he's gay?
I think
Queen, you on mute, Queen.
I think he's bisexual. I think he's bisexual, and there's nothing wrong with it, but I think he's afraid to live in his truth. So, like I said, I do therapy and stuff like that, and I work with people that have been abused. So I believe something happened to him when he was younger. It has something to do with his mother, and it made him hate women. He takes it out on women, and he lives out the fantasy through the women.
Wow.
Yes, I think he's
Sylvia,
gay.
you're gonna have to get
I
this
think
together
he's
real quick.
gay. I do think he's gay. And I think a lot of people get sexuality confused because a man may penetrate a woman and enjoy her for 15 minutes. Oh no, he's bisexual. No, he has no desire for women whatsoever in a normal way. Intimacy, emotional connection, family, none of that. Do I think he's gay? Absolutely. I think women are means to an end. To be
Okay, let me ask you this though, and
I think he's
anything wrong with a freak off though? Hold on, let me answer this. Is there anything wrong with a freak off?
No.
Not if it's consensual. Let's have them.
No, there's nothing. No, because if you did it, Armon, and if I did it, and you got caught by the local police in your station, in your state, you would be charged with solicitation of prostitution, which is a misdemeanor.
But that's why people actually said, Diddy's legal team said that they actually hope that, sorry, not Diddy's legal team, someone on Diddy's team, said they think if Diddy could just walk away with the sex trafficking charge, he'd be happy because it's really not that. I don't think the time is, that's what they said, the time when they would love if he could just get that. They're way more worried about the RICO.
And do we realize now that, let's just say we're all YouTubers, Papa, you got some money. You guys are all in relationships and stuff, but if you weren't, could you imagine that flown out culture? Say you fly a guy out or you fly a girl out. Do you know that if she feels uncomfortable and you flew her out and you guys had sex, all of a sudden you could be charged for sex trafficking? I had no idea.
Pay for her? Is that only if you pay?
No. So if I fly a subscriber out and we have sex, and then all of a sudden 2-3 years from now, they just make up some crazy thing about how they were uncomfortable having sex with me, then I have a case. They have a case.
No, it goes hand in hand because that's why I was saying this is what every rapper does.
But here's the thing. But every female wants to get flown out.
Every guy wants to fly you out. Every dude with money doesn't mind flying a girl out of town out to have some fun.
So how do you protect yourself if you're a person of stature and money and
record everything? Everything should be recorded. Yes, record it all.
That's the solution.
Record everything. You said I did what?
Hold on. Here's where it gets complicated. Here's where it gets complicated. It's not about the sex. It's not about being flown in. It's about the length of the activity because you are not physiologically able to continue for 3 days straight. The problem is where he gets in trouble. He forced her to go 3 days straight, nonstop, under the influence of drugs. Hold on, let me finish. Under the influence of drugs. At one point, even though she consents in the beginning, once you reach a certain level of being incoherent, you don't have the rationale to consent beyond that point. That's where they're going to get him.
Do you truly believe? No, seriously,
it's not about what I believe. It's about what's the law.
It does matter. It does matter. It does. Let me finish. I'll let you cook all day. Let me cook real quick. So look,
I'm gonna let you finish.
You're telling me you believe these women were truly forced to do what they wanted to do. When it's clear, hold on, wait. It clearly shows between this last witness, Jane, she loved it. Matter of fact, she had freak offs
after Diddy. She was still doing it with other rappers after Diddy. She loved every moment of this until she figured out Young Miami was getting that bag and yo ass wasn't. Young Miami is living the life that all y'all ever wanted to live. Now it's a problem that Cassie got 20 million and Young Miami is getting that bag. Now everybody has an issue. So you truly believe these women were forced?
No, but you won't let me answer. And I think my content is all about that. I keep saying she said she consented. We've nailed that down on my page. The point is, at some point when I'm loaded up with drugs, there is a law that takes place as a man, whether you believe it or not. You cannot have sex with a woman that's under the influence at a
She
particular
wanted the
level.
drugs.
It doesn't at first, but when
No.
she starts, let me finish. When she starts to vomit, and she tells you I can't do anymore, and then you say,
What
and
was
you're on.
Diddy's
Let me
response?
finish. Let me
She's about to
keep
tell
going,
you.
baby. Let me finish. His response was, "Keep going, baby. You got this. Don't quit on me now. Let's go. Cross the finish line. Stay in the light." That's
That's a RICO?
illegal.
That's a RICO? That's a RICO? So you vomit, and I'm telling you, hey, just like old times, keep up the good work. We've been doing this. This ain't something that's new today. We didn't just start this today. You've been doing this, and you've been comfortable with this. You've probably thrown up prior to this and previous to. It doesn't matter. You've done this plenty of times. Get the fuck up and let's do what we always do. This is. Oh, excuse me.
All right, we're gonna switch gears a little bit.
I have to go.
I'm
I
sorry.
know, before you, I know that's why I know you have to go. Hold on, we're
Thank
gonna
you
switch
for
gears.
the
but I need
opportunity.
hold on. I need you for 5 more minutes, and then
Okay.
we're 2 more. Okay, we're gonna wrap it up. But I need to get to the Kanye piece now.
Yeah.
Do we think that Kanye West was the freak off that Jane Doe was at, and do we think that she just flew out and ended up at a hotel?
Of course,
Anybody?
I do believe she's.
Or do you think she? But I got some secret information that she may have allegedly participated in the freak off. Because think about it. She said she was there for 20 minutes. I just want to break this 20 minutes down. In 20 minutes, you managed to get flirted with, have a conversation with an escort that was sleeping with somebody, flash your titties, and dance. All of that in 20 minutes.
I mean, I know a girl that took her top off for Kanye and Bianca at the Chateau Marmont. So I think she's and then things got crazy after that.
But do we think that was Kanye and Bianca?
If the freak off happened on January 7th and 8th, yes. People are now saying it was January 24th. I don't know if that's true. I need to read the transcript over again, but I definitely think so. I mean, yeah, like they're already having their own freak offs. Everybody knows about it. They're having them in Italy. They had one in Italy. Everyone knows about the freak offs.
Kanye does freak offs? Are you saying that Kanye does?
Yes. Kanye went to a Ritz-Carlton in Florence or Milan, some Italian city, and requested for the entire room to remove the furniture so that mattresses could fill the entire room. And they were like, sorry, that you're not doing that. And then he was like mad, and then they just wrote it off as a cultural difference.
So is that why you think him and Kim broke up? Because she wasn't with that? Because now that I'm thinking about it, the way he presents Bianca is kind of like, you want her?
I think Jay and Kim were having freak offs, but they were signing NDAs just like Will Smith and Jada. That's what I think. And I think Bianca and Ye are messy with it. That's the problem. And the girls that are coming in and out and the male escorts that are coming in and out, I think they're messier with it. Where Kim and the Kris Jenner, they had them signing them NDAs. And then I think the sex eventually stopped. That's why he was in Wyoming all the time. That's just a hunch.
But the difference between Kim Kardashian and Bianca is Kanye has control over Bianca. He had no control in the Kim Kardashian situation.
You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised, actually. Bianca talks back.
I think Kanye
this is one thing I'm going to leave you guys with. People keep forgetting. Bianca is his power of attorney. Unlike Cassie and all these other girls, Ye gave Bianca access to all his money. Anytime he gives someone a car, Bianca has to sign the document. My friend got a car from Kanye. Guess whose name was on that document? Bianca Sensori. She has power of attorney. He made her power of attorney a few months into their relationship. So Bianca is pulling the strings more than people think she is. That's all I have.
So What does that tell
But
you?
the world wants, and I don't think Bianca's going to turn on Ye. I don't think unless she's subpoenaed, I don't think she's going to. I think she likes the lifestyle. I think she's very
gonna
willing.
turn.
So let
If
me
she's
ask you
forced.
this. Let me ask you this. How does Kanye West get away with freak offs, expose all these crazy things,
Because he
but
made
other people
graduation.
can't?
Because he made
He's not.
graduation.
It's called federal government documentation. 6 years of undercover. I think Bianca's a plant.
Well, we talked about that.
I agree.
We
I
talked about
agree.
that.
I agree. No, I agree
Oh.
with that. I
A
agree with that.
honeypot handler. A honeypot handler, people think.
See, but why would Kanye give her power of attorney unless she was sent in to do a job?
And also, Kanye hired a private investigator to investigate the Kardashians for sex trafficking while he was with Bianca. That's a lawsuit nobody talks about. You know what else nobody talks about? The Lauren Peshkota lawsuit that's against Ye, where she accuses him of trafficking. And in the lawsuit, Lauren alleges that Bianca was the one coordinating the orgies. Remember that Yeezy Shades photo shoot where they all had the Yeezy Shades on for Gap?
Mm-hmm.
If you guys go and read Lauren's lawsuit, she said that if in between the photos, people had to take turns sucking Ye's D and another guy, and that Bianca was the one that was like, all right, you're next, come here. Lauren alleges some crazy stuff in that lawsuit, but nobody talks about this lawsuit. And guess who's representing her? Lisa Bloom, who was in the overflow room the first month of the trial. And she was like, we're going to get Ye. We're going to get him. She said that.
Wow.
I think the fact, I think me and Sheiba said it the other day. Sheiba is very smart. Sheiba's 10 steps ahead of me. She said the feds are probably already building a case against Ye, and that's why they protected his name if he was the one in the freak off, right?
Okay, because that was interesting. Why? The last thing. Why did they protect the name of the guy and the girlfriend that was in the freak off through this whole case? They did not protect anyone's name. They were in the defense was itching to get out Young Miami.
Remember,
And listen, and the defense led us to water with the rapper. He's an iconic rapper, very famous. It's like, just say who it is.
Because
Like,
Maureen Comey said, no, we've got to protect this guy.
But why?
Because
it wasn't just this guy and a girl. There was 7 to 9 people in the room that are other celebrities, and that's the part that everybody's forgetting about.
Why does everybody forget?
Hold on. Everybody's focusing on Kanye, but there were other celebrities in the room. So
Jennifer
that's why they
Lopez,
fought so hard.
LeBron
Hold on.
James.
Go ahead. But my thing is, since when does the government care about protecting people?
Dad, we were
Go
talking
ahead, Sheiba. Where's Sheiba at?
I think she got disconnected.
Okay. But you guys, you know what? This live is grown. We got 13,000 people here. I know you got to go.
I just told them I'll be a second late. I have another live. I think when I made a video about why is the government only protecting the celebrities when they have no problem putting out the Punisher's business for the world to see, putting out Anton's, like they're humiliating normal, regular people that were making.
Yes.
But then the celebrities get all this protection. The escorts didn't get condoms or protection from the government. Why should the celebrities be protected? And let's be honest, the reason a lot of the public, people that aren't following Armon, are bored with this case because there's no celebrities named and everybody knows there's celebrities involved. But the government, for some reason, just wants to keep protecting. But Maureen Comey, she did the same exact thing during the Ghislaine Maxwell case. That's why everyone thinks she's corrupt. Her father's the head of the FBI.
That's fact.
All right, Kai, what's up? Or is it K? How we say it?
Kai.
Okay, come on, give it to us.
Now, I just wanted to clear some misinformation up. A lot of people, they see the RICO, they look certain things up. And if you look up the time period, right? Like you heard, I heard Ratchet was saying 10 years, right? But if it's say 2024, right? So if it's something that happened in 2008, it could be thrown in as a predicated offense because the 2014 window, before that is 10 years more, right? So it's 2004. If it's related, it's called the pattern of activity. So that's why those certain things is being added and spoken about in the RICO itself. If you look it up, Google, wherever you look it up, you can see it. A lot of people get confused and they just think, oh, it's past 10 years, so I can't get charged with it. But that's why you see a lot of mob cases that go back 20 years, 30 years, because it involves the relevant crimes that's been going on within the RICO. So I've been charged with RICO You feel me? I've been through it, so it's like I do like New York street content and all that. But I just heard something. I want my girl, she watching y'all. You heard, shout out to y'all and all that. And she's like, yo, go up there and clear that up. Like, but for a fact, 100%, you look it up.
So did you beat the RICO?
Nah. I sat on the stand. You heard?
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you think that Diddy should get on the stand?
I ain't gonna lie. He's locked up with a bunch of dudes that snitches. He's in the snitch house. He's not locked up by he's in the snitch house. So I don't think they gave him the option. I think if he loses this trial, he will have to do something called the Rule 35. And doing the Rule 35, that's when you come back after your sentencing and you try to get your time lowered by, giving up other information. But I don't think they gave him the chance to.
Okay. Anybody else?
I think he should hit the stand. I really think he should hit the stand.
Yeah, it'll hurt him. I think it'll hurt him or help him, but I think they're gonna convict him. I think they want more information. FBI is all about.
So let me ask you this: do you think that they have a RICO with Diddy?
It's weak, but they got one. Yeah.
But do you think he will get convicted?
Yeah, I think he's gonna get convicted.
And how long you think he's gonna serve?
If he get convicted in RICO, he get 0 to 20, and then whatever else that goes on top of it with the enhancements. But only way is this is like if the jury is just swayed.
Would you do a freak off with your girlfriend?
I ain't gonna lie. Nah. I'm not. If I was into that, I would say it, but nah, I ain't into that.
Okay. Just wanted to know.
Yeah,
all right.
I gotta go, y'all, man. Good looking. I appreciate it.
I see ya. I just need. Okay, so
Armon, you ain't.
What? I'm just trying to figure out I'm trying to learn from the public. What is everybody? You know what I'm saying? RICO, is it a RICO or is a freak off a bad thing? Because I would do a freak off, but with all willing participants. But I think it gets dangerous when you do the freak off, and then all of a sudden people start acting like they didn't want to do it.
It's kind of like what you said. Let's just say, like, you're a content creator, you're famous, like you got a lot of people who want your attention. And then you get people that want to, hey, fly me out. You like, oh, cool, we vibing. I'm gonna fly you out. 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 So now you got people that have been flown out by Armon, and now they find out about this person getting flown out, this person getting flown out, but they didn't get more than this person, and they didn't get more than this person. They wanted a position with you. Now they're mad at Armon. So now Armon did this to me, and I felt like this. Now everyone has a story that coincides together. Like, well, Armon did this, and I didn't feel comfortable.
That's what I'm saying.
What you could do, what other celebrities do, they have these escorts on blackmail salaries for life.
Well, I guess what I'm saying is, what is a freak off? Like a threesome or a foursome? I mean, I guess I've done that, but I've never I've had a freak off, I guess, or is it hired escort?
So
what
Diddy
is a freak off?
Okay, he says a freak off is going off grid. There are no rules to a freak off. I think the problem is the amount of money that's being exchanged.
Okay.
The tax bracket and the level of notoriety.
I think in this case,
I'm not doing all that. I'm not spending my money and then getting a freak off. No, I'm not doing all
no
that.
money will be exchanged. We doing this for free. We're doing this free.
I think this freak off, like going into the trial, we thought we were going to see like 100 celebrities.
And I think everybody thought they were going to see Jaguar right in a fade with Jay-Z.
Right. Allie
you know
Carter
what I'm saying?
Tunnels, Kids in the Cages, Beyonce singing.
And shout out to Jaguar. I love Jaguar. And by the way, she's a king. But
I would like to know what
she's a liar.
We thought we were gonna see Mary J. Blige. We thought like that's what everybody was
looking for.
Where's Leonardo DiCaprio?
Hold on, we haven't seen it yet.
Aaron Hall. Where's Aaron Hall? He admitted he R-worded these girls. Where's Aaron Hall?
All we've seen is the Punisher and Cassie and Jane Doe, and then another escort.
Well, you got to take out the big fish. It's big bank take little bank right now.
All right, guys, it's been a phenomenal night. We've been on here for an hour and 38 minutes. Emily stayed with us. Listen, we have capped out about 13,000 people in here right now. The number is kept growing. You guys are really killing it. I love this debate. You guys are welcome back anytime on the weekend when we do these. I love you guys all. Emily, let them know where they can find you because I know you got to go first.
You guys can sub to my YouTube. It's Kanye's Post. I don't really post, but I might start like when I get back to LA. Emily knows everything on TikTok and Instagram. Thanks for having me, Armon.
Thank you, Emily. I'll see you Monday, boo.
Bye.
All right, bye. All right, Queen Shiba. Let them know where they can find you, boo.
Yeah, you can find me as Queen Shiba with an I, Queen Shiba Darling on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok.
And
Thank
you
you,
know what? I'm going to
everybody.
say thank you for coming on here. You're a pleasure. You know, I loved you from the day I met you. But I need you to explain this mean girl to me real quick before you get up out of here, because I need to see.
Okay, baby, I call it the Shark Tank. Armon will do a Shark Tank. He will round you out. It could be a day, it could be a week, it could be a minute. He's gonna kind of get a lay of the land before he decides to go in and make your presence known. But you know what? I like it because I should practice that a little bit more. And I think it keeps you safe. Boom.
You know why? Because I just have to I have to see. I have to see. I have to see.
Yeah.
But you know, some lady, she came to me. She was like, she made a video about me and everything. She was like, "Oh, you know, I said that you were a mean girl." I'm like, I'm really mean. I don't feel like I'm mean. I just feel like I just don't be knowing what I'm getting up there, and then I'd be tired.
It's the facial. I think it's the facial expressions that go with the assessment that you're
What do I
conducting on
do?
site.
Oh yeah.
You mean that's what you mean.
Was I mean to you, Ratchet? I was not mean to you.
You my dog. I rock with him. I love Armon. I don't care what nobody talk about.
Look at I was not doing that to you. Maybe I probably was. I probably was.
Yes,
y'all.
you
You
were.
are mean, but you know.
Yes, you were.
But listen,
But I
now
love
we're
you.
here, and I love you
Yes,
too.
absolutely.
And you're doing a phenomenal
Thank you,
job. And I want
everybody.
everybody that has not been familiar with you to support you and support your page, because you're doing your thing. You came in, you're killing it, and you know I respect your work and I live for you. And you know, well put together. You know, I just like bad bitches. You know what I'm saying? And once I realize if you're a bad bitch, then I'm in, and you're one of those. So I feel like I'm with it. You have a good day, boo. I'll see you Monday.
Salute, Sheiba.
Bye. And you came late.
I know, man. My bad. I was
And
out.
then you was cursing, and you was just doing all that extra stuff.
My
And
bad.
then
I
you was smoking
apologize,
weed. What was
I'm
you
gonna
doing?
send you a cash. I see. I wasn't on camera with that, so
Yeah, you was on camera. You was just backstage.
Allegedly.
Can I tell y'all a little story about him? So we went out one day. No, I don't want to do that because I don't know what you're gonna say, and I don't know. Just don't say nothing. Let me tell a story. So this thing gets drunk and he starts throwing up everywhere. Then I had to make sure he got home, and then I called him the next day, and he just like, "Girl, what? You're trash, and you need to come back. Like, what are you doing?"
Back. I am coming back.
When? I feel like we had this conversation every day. You need to hurry up.
I'm coming back soon. I told you I got some stuff to take care of.
Oh my God. I'm going to be gone by the time you come back.
Nah, you're not going nowhere.
It's almost like 2 weeks.
We're going to be right there. We're going to be back for verdict and all that, man. Trust me.
Okay, bye.
Ratchet TV will be back, man.
Okay, where can they find you? Because, you know, a lot of people was not feeling you today. But I knew it was gonna.
My Instagram is right there, the Ratchet TV.
You actually was getting into a fight the first day you came, but we won't get into that anyway.
Yeah, you know, it is what it is, man. My YouTube is Ratchet TV, the Hood's journalist. A lot of people don't like me because my opinions on things are not the same as everybody else's. I see things from a different perspective than everybody else, but hey, everybody is entitled to their opinion. Armon Wiggins know that. Look, Armon, be real. We've been in court and we've had difference of opinions, but we've also came together and be like, hey, look, man, this is looking like
Yeah, no, I know. I'm with you. Like, I'm in the middle. I'm not one of those content creators that are like so hell bent on Diddy's going down, and I'm also not like Diddy's done no wrong. I'm just here for the facts, and I'm here for like every day to see. Like, I reserve my opinion to flip flop because one day I was totally for Jane Doe, and then the last one I was like, wait. She bamboozled the whole game for her own little interpersonal thing with Diddy. So then she turned out to be a joke. So that's why I'm now waiting for the defense to do their, you know, to get on the stand and do their thing, show their case. And then I want to see if the prosecution is strong, like, you know, Nicole Westmoreland and Brian Steele, to see if they can poke holes in the defense's story. If they can't do the same thing that, you know, Steele and Westmoreland was able to do to their case, then I feel like they're not going to win. The prosecution is not going to win because for every witness, the defense has been able to show doubt.
Except for a select few. It's been like one or two. They haven't
Capricorn, I'm riding with Capricorn all day.
Capricorn did her thing. And
Deontay Nash.
Deontay and Cassie. Those three were damaging. Everything else outside of them, the defense has pretty much done a good job of making them look like complete crap. So outside of Cassie, who I truly believe, I think Cassie is definitely a victim. I think this whole RICO is built off of Cassie and her abuse and her time with Diddy. I think that you got a definite case with Cassie. I don't think she lied about too much. I think 90 to 95% of Cassie's testimony was complete facts. And I think everybody else outside of her either kind of helped her story out or just kind of corroborated her. It was just like a corroborating story with Deontay and Mia. Then you see all of them kind of communicated after the fact, during the fact, before the fact. So I don't really know how much I believe the rest of y'all. I do believe Cassie. I do believe Capricorn. Capricorn definitely did not lie. I don't feel like Capricorn lied, and I don't feel like Cassie lied. Deontay, I don't feel like he lied. I just feel like he was a cloud chaser, but I don't think he lied. So
Hey.
those I like Deontay. He's cool, but he's a cloud chaser. But I think those three testimonies were the ones that the defense lost. They could not. Capricorn bodied the defense. By the way, Capricorn probably did the best job out of everybody up there. I think she was the best witness out of all three of them. I feel like Cassie's testimony completely got everybody in the uproar to where they're now thinking Diddy is guilty of a RICO based on Cassie. And then Capricorn and
What about
Deontay,
Mia?
I think Mia hurt herself. I think the defense was able to poke holes in her story. Mia, she was doing a good job, and I think they just had her up there too long. Just like Jane. I feel like they were doing a good job. You kind of could have got in and got out, but you kept her up there for 3 or 4 days, and it's kind of like they're able to pick too many holes in their story. You should have got her up there, told her story, get her off.
What about Bana?
No, Cap.
Okay.
She's a liar. She's a liar.
Okay. All right, Ratchet. So I will talk to you soon. Let them know where they can find you one more time in case they forgot.
My Instagram is right there, The Ratchet TV. My YouTube is Ratchet TV, The Hood's Journalist. You can find me, man, The Ratchet TV on all platforms, or just Ratchet TV, The Hood's Journalist on YouTube. Salute to Armon. I love you, bro. And I'm coming back, and we going to party again. I'm not throwing up this time.
No, I'm not doing it with you because by 12 o'clock you was cooked, and I'm like,
See, you shouldn't have told these people that, man. You
wasn't even doing nothing. Like what? Like what?
I hadn't ate, but it's all good.
You didn't tell me that.
It's all good, man. Look, Armon, we gonna run that back. We gonna run it back.
Yeah, but
he
gets crazy when he gets drunk. He be trying to embarrass me just doing too much. Like,
no, we had fun, man. We had fun, Armon.
Yeah, we did. Bye.
Man, get off. I'm done with you. I'm gonna cuss you out. I'm gonna cuss you out this live, man. Salute to Armon. Salute to the chat. I love you, bro. I'm
love you too. Bye. All right. So listen, guys. Tomorrow, we have a special thing happening. So I'm gonna lock it in for sure, but I think I'm 95% sure. Tomorrow, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we will have one of the escorts for Diddy in the building. So we will be going inside the freak off tomorrow night. Okay. So I know that it's going to be late if you guys can't catch it. So it's 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific, and probably 9 p.m. Central. All right, we're going inside the freak off, the details, the dirt, the glitz, the oil of it all. You're not going to want to miss this live show, okay? And so he's coming here. He's going to tell it all. And we're going to get into some things. I told you I had a little surprise for you. So I'm going to confirm with him tomorrow morning. I spoke with him last night. He said he's down to come on. And so he's going to give us the tea. And one little nugget that he told me that Diddy said, he said that Diddy was behind him and told him all he know is that dick better be hard. And so we're going to get into that, and we're going to see how hard it was when Diddy requested that. Then he also said he left with $5,000. So we have a lot to talk about, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. So make sure you subscribe to the channel right here. Turn that notification bell on so you know when we go live. And also subscribe and follow on Instagram and Twitter. And did you guys like the guests? Did you guys like that? I loved everyone that came on. You know what I'm saying? I love the guests. We're collabing. I love everybody at the courthouse. We're doing our thing. And so the weekends, you know, sometimes we come on, we bring our guests. And I know I owe you guys a one-on-one, and you guys will get your one-on-one Monday. But tomorrow, we're going to have inside the freak off. So make sure you bring your oil. And the escort told me that it can't be this kind of oil. It has to be Johnson & Johnson's only, or die. So bring your Johnson & Johnson's or don't come to the party. All right, y'all. I'll see you soon. Until then, stay oiled up. And make sure it's heated. All right, y'all. Peace out.